is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Currently on No Other Pod. Here on the KC Sports Network, it's your guy, Daniel Kooser, here with the other guy, Chris Wright, coming straight from Japan. Look at this guy. If you were watching on YouTube, he is in a Mojo Dojo Casa house. Look at this. He's got sliding doors straight out of Japan, man. What's up?
What's going on, man? I am currently day 5 out of 15 in Japan. So I'm in Kanazawa, by the way.
Are you going to Disney World?
Well, I was in Tokyo for 4 days prior, and they had Disney World and a couple other like amusement parks there. But a lot of fun. Yeah. Tokyo is a fun city.
I bet. My goodness, you are coming at us from the future, bro. It is Thursday right now. It's Wednesday here. What's Thursday like? How's that?
It's right now. It's cold and rainy. 9:30 in the morning. It's cold and rainy.
I love that.
So I'm sheltering from the elements in my dojo here. I don't know if you can. That's Vanna White.
Yeah, no, I absolutely see it. I mean, there's no furniture. Are you sitting on the floor?
I'm on the floor. Yeah.
That is how it's intended to be.
Yeah.
This is wild, bro. You are just in another world, literally.
It's very different culturally. Very, very, very different.
I can't get down, buddy. You know I got bad hips. So when it comes down to sitting crisscross applesauce, it's not fun for me. It's very difficult. Don't get me wrong. I can sit fine, like in an L, sit with my legs spread out or whatever. But if someone's like, yeah, crisscross applesauce, I'm like, suck my wang, because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It hurts. How are you?
You're going down, but you're not getting back up, right?
Buddy, I did an improv show last weekend, and I had to fall down on the ground, and I had to do the worm, and that was not fun to do the worm. And I was like, can someone turn off the lights in the theater so I can get up? I don't want anyone seeing me get up.
Is there video of this? Is there a video anywhere?
You know, if there was, you're not seeing it. So
I have to message Marissa, see if she knows somebody.
She filed it up here for her own enjoyment. So, dude, we are, we're less than a month away from the home opener, from the season opener. It's coming down the pipeline, man. Are you getting excited?
I am. I think I've been so focused on this trip that every time is just going by really quickly. And every time I look in the calendar or something sporting or current related, just, timeline is moving quickly, man.
Listen, if there's an MVP of this podcast, of this sports network, it's you, dude. You're zooming in from freaking Japan. And that's wild, because I'm not sure I would have been as selfless as that. I might have been like, I'll try, but I'm in fucking Japan. So kudos to you, man. Thank you for making the time.
Well, hey, you tried doing a cruise ship. You're in the middle of an ocean somewhere, the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know where you were. You were somewhere, and you tried.
I tried. That was poor, very poor Wi-Fi there. It was crazy. I'm not sure. It let me like watch shows and stuff and like stream things, but I could not connect to our service here. So pretty cool that you have Wi-Fi there going on right now.
Yeah, Wi-Fi's everywhere. They have Wi-Fi everywhere.
Nice, very cool, man. I'm envious. That is a trip on my wife and I's list to go do soon. Maybe a China-Japan duo trip kind of situation. Pretty neat.
Yeah.
So let's hop to it, man. Did you know that we both sounded like dum-dums the last time we recorded, in the sense of not knowing a damn thing about the Women's Gold Cup? Because there hasn't been a Women's Gold Cup. This is the first freaking year. Do you remember this?
Very, very briefly. Very briefly.
Yeah. We were like, I don't know. We did not hint that this was the first year of that at all. And once I figured that out and someone made that aware to us online, I was like, couple idiots over here. What, just being ourselves. Just being ourselves.
We'll admit when we're wrong. We'll admit when we make a mistake. We're not better than that. Yeah.
We both have partners. We know the game. We know not admit when you're wrong, buddy.
I will admit defeat graciously and humbly and move on.
100%. 100%. Man, so Casey Current's been having not a word. They've been having a little preseason going on, playing against some teams, man. And it includes FSU, it includes Orlando Pride, and Houston Dash. 3 little tune-up games as they continue to get fit and strong and familiar with their teammates and all of that. But I just want to mention, man, Casey Current beat Florida State University 5-0, where 5 different players scored. That's wonderful.
And DiBernardo had a couple of assists as well, including that highlight header by Lowe, if I remember correctly. Yeah, just love to see them all get involved, man.
I mean, dude, you are a DiBernardo champion of her. Like you just rightfully so. I mean, I'm on that train too, but I mean, 2 assists in a whole game. I mean, she got one in the 20th minute and then assisted Lowe in the 63rd, and then also got a goal. So 2 assists and a goal, not a bad day.
I mean, I know it's FSU. I know it's a collegiate team, but the fact that we're seeing progress, the fact that we're seeing some early success in terms of keeping a clean sheet, in terms of putting points on the board, this early on under a new system with different players, everybody's meshing, everybody's gelling, getting used to each other. I love to see it.
Yeah, dude. They played 3 30-minute periods. So it wasn't quite a 90-minute game. They kind of rotated rosters and stuff like that, just kind of having fun with it. So, Vlatko said it's just 1 box in the preseason that we needed to check off. It was good collective teamwork, and we're just happy with how they performed. Now we did that, and we're moving on to the next one. These aren't streamed at all. We cannot see these, but it's cool to see a lot of the younger players, newer players, get into the fold.
Yeah, like Hutton played. I think Pfeiffer played, who was coming off of a heck of some national team, youth national team stuff. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm really curious to see how they play against this level of competition. Obviously, as they get better, they're going to, see more challenges and difficulty. But to get them out there early, I think can do nothing but kind of boost their success quicker. I really wish we could stream them, man. Like, I think everybody I talk to just wants to watch it. I want to see what formation that they're playing. I want to see what they're doing tactically. I want to see some of the younger players play. I want to see some of the new additions play. And the fact that it's not streamed, criminal, sir.
Yeah,
criminal.
It happens, man. If you could, stop by in Florida and get a Zoom stream going yourself on your travels, give the people what they want, man. Michelle Cooper played nearly the whole match, 75 minutes. Right? Yeah. No, 65, right? I can't even understand these lineups, man. It said Cooper, Chawinga came in for Cooper in the 75th. There we go. So, but she was, she's pressuring the defense the whole time, man. She is just a wild woman doing that stuff, man. But 1 preseason game in the books. They'll turn to the next one and maybe shoot to score 5 goals there as well. One thing I want to mention here, man, is that you mentioned Claire Hutton playing a little bit. She was called up to the U.S. Women's U20 national team for a pair of friendlies this month against Colombia. This gal's pretty good, isn't she?
She is. And this is why, when we traded away our 3rd overall draft pick, which I think left everybody angry and upset. But we signed Hutton shortly. I want to say shortly before or after. I'm sorry, I can't remember the timeline. But if you replace that with the player that this is going to be in a couple of years, without a doubt, that is going to, it could have been a 3rd overall pick, in college. So the fact that we're getting her, Pfeiffer, who also scored against Mexico and shushed the Mexico crowd. I don't know if you saw that. That's pretty sassy of her.
Very sassy.
Absolutely love that. She has some spice to her. So I just love what the young players are doing right now, man.
She's got gumption. I'll tell you that. It's fun to see someone so confident and so young in her career. Yeah. I mean, it's just up from there, man. And getting in the national team conversation, the senior team looks at those kids as well to see if they can progress through the system and all that. But if she's getting regular minutes in preseason, we might see her come on for regular minutes during the regular season. And that's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, hey, let's take a quick break real fast. When we come back, we got a few more things to talk about. See you in a minute.
We appreciate you supporting KC Sports Network by listening to our podcast. You have helped us become the highest-ranked Chiefs podcast network in 2022 and 2023. And don't forget about our daily Substack newsletter, the best written analysis you can find on the Chiefs straight to your inbox every day. kcsn.substack.com.
Dude, so I saw this shit show of a movie called Madam Web last night.
That got absolutely shit on by the critics and everybody who's watched it, right?
Rightfully so, man. I mean, you're like, oh, why'd you pay money for this? You know what? Hey, don't hate on me. I'll spend my money how I want to spend my money. But it's not great. It's not great, everyone. And I saw it for you, so you don't have to.
So not even at all. Like, let's just say you're home. It's on whatever streaming service. Would you put it on or avoid it like the plague?
Are you a Marvel diehard? Then yeah. You know, do you like superhero movies? Like, I've seen some shitty superhero movies, dude. We all have. So it's like, you know, why not? Why not put it on like a little slumber party movie, right? Like you're all into watching like a good bad movie, one of those.
Yeah. As long as you have low expectations, right? You know what you're getting yourself into. Just have fun with it.
I don't know how, can anyone just be a writer in Hollywood? Can anyone just do that? Because it seems like these are professional writers of a Hollywood script. And I'm like, this is garbage, sir. I could do this 10 times better. It's crazy to think. And it got me thinking, I'm going to start writing shit. Like, why? Because why not? If that's the kind of stuff that's out there, why not write something, huh? I got love stories. I can write love stories.
Can we get a segment where you like do a short love story, like a poem or something? Can we get that in there?
I got short stories, man. I got this brain. I just need to put pen to pad. I'm just lazy. I don't want to do it. You know? Hey,
you just got to carry on a voice recorder wherever you go and just do that.
Coolest thing you've been doing in Japan? What have you done?
Oh, 4 days in Tokyo. A lot of fun. A lot of just a lot of shrines, a lot of like traditional stuff, but at the same time, a lot of just, I don't know, because when you think of Tokyo, you think of like technology, right? You think of I went to Akihabara, which is like this anime area of Tokyo, and it's everything's like lit up. Anime's I really don't watch anime, but it's still really cool to go to. And then it's just like electronic signage everywhere. It's very visually pleasing. You know, in Shinjuku, they have like Godzilla head up on a building, and they have the Shibuya. They have like that 3D cat that's on the side. I don't know. There's just everywhere. It's just very electronic, very lit up, really cool neon lights everywhere. And it's rained a couple times, so you get that like John Wick visually pleasing. Yeah, like those cool neon lights reflecting off of the water.
Wow.
It's very.
I was reading some customs that are like some traditions. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like some personal traditions. Is there anything like that they frown upon? Like I thought I read something about like standing, like, or you shouldn't be standing on the sidewalk, or no, it's like eating and walking, right?
Yeah. People don't eat and walk.
It's totally frowned upon. And if you do it, you're a schmuck.
Yeah. So like in the subway, they form an orderly queue and they just do it. Like there's no instruction. They just do it. And they just form an orderly queue to get on the subway. And then when the subway stops, people will like leave, and then they'll like orderly queue go on. Multiple times it was late at night and I was trying to go to a crosswalk and there's no cars. Red light, you can't walk. You got to wait till you get the green man, and there is no cars and people wait for the green light to walk. you're not going to get hit. There's no cars. And part of me is like looking around like, what are you waiting on, guys? Let's go. Let's get after it. But they just wait. They're very organized, very structured, very polite, but very reserved as well. They're not outgoing like Americans or Westerners, but the best service ever. You go to like a grocery store, they'll like bow and hand you your receipt. And I'm just like, yeah, it's very respectful.
Do you bow in receipt of the receipt?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, they're probably like, that motherfucker didn't bow.
Well, I was down this narrow street and a car was coming and I just moved to the side, just like one would do. And then they drove past and like bowed at you. And I'm like, that's so cool. So nice.
While driving?
Yeah. Like they'll bow. It's kind of like the Midwest, like, like nod or something.
Now, what's your Yakuza situation? Are you part of it yet? Do they have tattoos on your back? And
I wish I was that cool. I would join it in a heartbeat if I could.
Oh my God, get out of here!
No, I wouldn't.
The eating and walking thing is wild to me because it seems like we're always doing that, right? You grab a burrito, you're on the move. Pretty cool. Look at you, world traveler, dude. He's just like 4 weeks out. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Japan in 4 weeks. What the F? This guy.
I love a good travel deal. I'll go anywhere with a good travel deal.
That's awesome. Well, safe travels to you. Dude, so a couple other players were called up from KC Current, Stina Balaseger and Sophie Schmidt, to their respective national teams in Argentina and Denmark. So good for them. I love how we got all these national players on our team and they're getting that experience. I just want people to stay healthy, man. That's all I'm at.
Yeah, Sophie held, I believe it was a 0-0 result. So she started center back and she held down that defensive line. So didn't allow a goal in. Love to see it. I'm not exactly sure how they plan on using her for the Current. If they're going to keep her at center back. So.
That was against Mexico, right?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So I'm not sure how they're going to use her. Obviously with club and country, it can be different. That's yet to be determined, but I just love that depth signing. I mean, we're looking at like it's a depth signing, but in reality, she's a national team player who would play for, she would start on a lot of other clubs. It just goes to show you, at least on paper, how good we are. And if Logdo can mold that and then, I don't know, come up with something where they can, tactically integrate everybody, I really like where we're at. I just want to see them develop and, like you said, stay injury free.
Oh yeah, for sure. I also like that, Sophie's part of this Women's Gold Cup. And it's the inaugural CONCACAF W Gold Cup is what they call it. But they'll be taking on the U.S. Tomorrow at 9:15 p.m., man. So if you're like me, I'm always trying to watch the U.S. games, So it's kind of a double-double. You get to watch your U.S. team and a KC Current player.
That's going to be a challenge, right? Go up against the U.S. offense. Yeah.
Do you get access to your like streaming sites to stream this stuff, or since you're abroad, you probably don't watch anything because you're busy?
I don't have a whole lot of time to sit down and like watch stuff, but I do have access to it. So if I am sitting down and I'm not doing something, I will absolutely watch it.
Nice. Cool. Dude, where am I at here? KC Current partnered with a winery, Amagoni Urban Winery, in the stadium. So they'll be slinging cans of wine. I love a good canned wine. In addition to that, this is pretty cool to both of us, I believe, is that all their drinkware across the stadium will be reusable or recyclable. Right?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? Okay.
Yeah.
They partnered with Bold Reuse. I dig it, man. I'm all about that sustainability stuff.
Yeah, they're going to lead the way, for stadiums. I wrote this down real quick. It was 2.16, 2.16 billion single-use cups is what's thrown away every year. right over 400 stadiums or something.
Oh my God.
How it bothers me that this has never been a thing until now. How come we're waiting till we're throwing away 2.16 billion plastic single-use cups? But kudos to the current for trying to change that, right?
But isn't that also like, okay, you can do this, but isn't it up to the consumer on where to place their empty drinkware? Like, what if they just throw it in the trash, not thinking?
That's what we're going to have to change.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be done. I'm here in Japan where they do that stuff just second nature, right? We're going to have to change for the better there. So
you look like you're in a one-room schoolhouse. You look like a field trip I went on as a kid to a one-room schoolhouse. Did you ever do that as a kid?
I did, yeah. In Topeka, I think they had like that one up by the movie theater.
Yeah, kind of up there by the museum a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
It was wild, man. We had a whole thing. We had to write with quills and shit. You remember that?
I don't remember having to write with a quill. I'm sure I did. I just don't remember that.
Dip it in ink and stuff and write.
Thomas Jefferson. Just
yeah. It was wild. And I was like, are these teachers about to start hitting us with yardsticks like they did back then as well? Put your fingers out there. Look out!
Oh, no.
Hilarious. I want to spend a little time on, well, you know what I'm about to talk about, but do you have any other things we want to hit before we talk about this?
Just real quick on sustainability. I'm just really curious to see how that works out. All water is going to be canned as well. Canned water.
Dude, this reminds me of that episode of Sunny where they would put wine in Diet Coke cans. And their lips were all red and pink and shit.
I really hope this does catch on, though, because it doesn't seem like it's a difficult thing to integrate if it catches on and it's not too much of an inconvenience, because at the end of the day, everybody's going to do what's convenient for them, because we're human beings. But I just hope this proves as a success, and then other stadiums start to adopt this type of sustainable practice.
Agreed, man. That'd be nice.
But canned wine, man. Can't beat canned wine.
Canned wine. Well, will you? Are you a drinker? Do you drink sometimes, right?
Yeah, I'm occasional, more social, but I don't go out that much, so it just depends.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, I want to address this this email we got today, letting us know about parking situation. I'm like, oh, sweet. What's our parking situation like? I'm opening this email with anticipation. Here we go. Turns out it's going to be $50 a game if you want a parking pass, and there are limited amounts of parking passes. It's not like saying if you want to park, you have to buy this. Like, you don't have to. So everyone freaking out saying you're being forced to do this. You're not forced to do this. They just brought this out and said more options will be announced in the weeks to come. I wish they just wouldn't have told us this right now. I wish they might have waited and given us the options in the weeks to come with this news, right? Like, here are all the options. $50 a match is pretty steep when Sporting KC charges nothing. And also, what's Chiefs parking? What does that cost? Is that $50?
I'm not sure. It might be if you're a season ticket member, it might be less, but I could be wrong.
It's wild.
It's on par with big cities, right? It's on like New York. I think for Red Bull games is cheaper. I heard LA, for Angel City, I think it's about the same price, but that's downtown LA. This is the Midwest. Like, there's no reason anybody should pay $50 to park anything.
I also want to say, what did you expect? This stadium cost a lot of money. They need to make money. This made sense to me financially for them. For us, little Midwesterners who like to live here because the cost of living's low, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's downtown, though. So then you're back to like, well, duh, they're going to charge this. It's downtown. But you bet your ass I'm already thinking of illegal options to go park at instead.
I mean, I'm not paying $50 for shit. So like,
No.
it's not going to happen. I will run. I will walk. I don't know. Think of a method of transportation, legal, illegal. I'll take that. I'm not paying $50. It's more than the ticket. It's just as much, if not more than tickets. Like your parking should not be equal or greater than the cost of your ticket.
Dude, it's like I'm paying 2 tickets per game, and even if we had a car full of 4 of us, right? So you
or 5. Let's do 5.
Sure.
Yeah.
You split the $50 5 ways. I still don't want to do that. Like it still sucks. It's the principle of the thing. Also, 5 people in a car that seats 5 is not always the most comfortable thing in the world. Someone in the middle seat in the back just gets absolutely boned. It's not a fun experience for them just being squeezed back there. Usually it's Marissa with her wide shoulders. She hates it. But I'll tell you right now, it's the Midwest, bro. I don't want to do this. And it's classist, right? It's also saying, hey, you got money. People are buying this. People are doing it.
It might be a status thing too. It's a classist. It's a status thing. Like you get general admission, your supporter stand, and you bring in you and a couple kids. Like, how in the world they cannot afford to do parking as well? Like, if you want women's soccer to grow, you cannot just start charging astronomical rates for either tickets or parking. You're gonna kill the interest. And you need to reel them in first, and then the streetcar is not even in the river market area yet, right? Like, it's still being built. So,
I mean, it has that river market loop, but
right.
It's not beyond that.
State. Yeah.
And so I'm like, what kind of transportation does that look like? They're going to talk about rideshare. They're going to tell us about a shuttle, presumably.
Right.
I don't mind parking a little bit and walking a little ways. It's good for me, right? Walking's good for me. So if that's what it comes to, I don't know. It just feels, I also want to say, what'd you expect? Like, it felt like this was coming. That doesn't make it right, but it's like, I can't say I'm that surprised.
I'm not surprised that it's expensive. I'm surprised how expensive it is, I think. Like, if you had told me $30 and be like, okay, that's kind of fair. Like, it's still high. That's fair. It makes some sense. But 50, I think you're doing more damage than you are good. And like I said, if they would have waited, if they would have said, okay, it's 50, but here are the other, park and ride, here are the other shuttle options, it would have been like, okay, we're definitely not paying 50, but this makes sense.
Oh, agreed, man. Agreed. I got to tell you, it's. I wish I took some time to go around and see what parking costs at other MLS stadiums and stuff. Because yes, it's free to park at Sporting, and you can pay a little more to park a little closer, right? To have a parking pass. But free parking in MLS is not really a thing. I've gone to many other stadiums, and I've seen, man, like Nashville, their parking is non-existent. St. Louis is downtown. It's like, okay, you're going to pay for parking at one of the hotels you're staying at, LA Galaxy, I remember, charged for parking. LAFC was downtown, so there's a parking garage where we paid money, right?
But at least you have public transportation, like, subway and stuff like that, where you can just get to where you're going and park away.
Like, Nashville had nothing, though. I can tell you that right now. We went and parked in some apartment complex where we probably weren't supposed to park, but that's what I'm talking about. I'll do that stuff, man. I'm a rebel.
And we're just going to piss off all the residents who live there because we're going to do this because we don't have many options.
Yeah. I mean, it's a sad deal. I mean, you always want to tell people to carpool in general, right? Save money, save the environment, stuff like that. But $50 is no drop in the hat there, man. It's a good chunk for how many home games? Like 13?
13 or 14, yeah.
So almost $700 worth,
which is our season ticket.
Yeah. Good grief. I can't get
now. What I don't know is how much they're having to pay to rent that area on a game basis or season basis. So, maybe they're not making money or that much money off of it, or maybe they're making a killing. I don't know, but I know they have to pay to rent that ground. So,
yeah, it's wild. We're in for a frustrating experience, and I think I ask everyone to just stay patient as the first game comes and goes, because everyone's going to be learning shit, man, from parking all the way down to canned wine attendance.
And you know what? The first year we always knew would be an issue because the streetcar was not going to be built there in the first year anyway. So we knew the first year would be rough, and then after that, it would kind of work itself out. So like I said, let's just stay patient. I'm not caving into that $50 parking, no sir. But
Agreed.
Hopefully it gets better as time goes on. They figure out a better and more permanent solution.
Yeah, for sure. Buddy, I don't have much else on the docket. You are enjoying a rainy Japanese morning, and I'm over here evening time in Topeka, Kansas.
It is like 39 degrees and rainy. So
Really?
yeah. And I'll tell you a quick story. Like, I got off of the bus station here in Kanazawa, and I'm Midwest. I don't use an umbrella. I got the North Face rain resistant jacket here. Like, I walked out, it was raining. I'm like, I don't care. I'm Midwest. I'm tough. I don't need no umbrella. Don't need it. Those are for sissies. I don't need an umbrella. So anyway, I start walking around. I start to get soaked. I'm like a wet dog. Just an idiot walking around, just soaked as can be. And I was in line for food, and I was the only person, and it was outside. I was the only person without an umbrella. And in that moment, I was like, I need an umbrella. I need one badly. So I go back to the train station, soaking wet, looking like an idiot. And they actually have them there to where people can just grab and take it and just return it whenever. Like, what? Like a library book. Yeah, you don't have to sign anything. Just take it and drop it back off for the next person who needs it.
This is, dude, the United States is ruined. That sounds wild.
I have learned more about caring for others here in Japan than I have in anywhere else. Like, a lot of people wear masks. It's not just because of COVID. They just, they don't want to get other people sick, right? That's just what, they don't want to get sick. That's just what they do. On the subways, people rarely talk. It's quiet. You can't eat on the subway. You can't drink water on this, on the train. Let me put it that way, on the train. It's frowned upon to be loud and noisy in public areas. People leave their bikes everywhere without locks. Like, nothing is stolen. Like, it's just absolutely mind blowing. In the US, you leave a bike, shit's gone. 15 minutes. Yeah, it's gone. People just drop them off. Like, it's absolutely crazy because they trust one another, and it is just so much. It makes me upset that in the U.S. we can't have anything nice. We can't have nice things because we don't take care of it. But yeah,
that's wild.
That's wild.
And, dude, speaking of bikes real fast, I was running an errand today, and I'm looking ahead, and I see a bike wreck, like a bicycle, a man in the road on the ground, like in the center lane where, like, the turning lane. And I'm like, what is happening? And I roll down my window, and I think his life alert thing was beeping because he had a fall. It was just beeping very loud. And I
try not to laugh, but that's
why I know. But so I'm like, am I gonna have to call like paramedics for this man here? Like, I'm like, sir, are you all right? And he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, are you sure? You're bleeding from the ears, sir. No. But he was fine. And I don't know if he fell down or if someone hit him or what, but it's not the first thing I've seen, man. Like 6 months ago, I saw a large truck and a bike and a cycler, and the truck passes the cycler, and the wind like blew him over. Like, the gust from the truck knocked the freaking biker over. Wow. You couldn't believe it. I didn't stop for that guy. I feel really bad. I was already past. I saw it in my mirror. Any measures. Cool, man. Should we get out of here?
Yes, sir.
Little short episode. Guys, I was doing some math. I think we will be off next week. You'll still be enjoying your Japan stuff, so that's good. But the week after that, I think we're back. Boom, boom, boom. Week after week, we're ready to go, man. We'll come in, predictions, preview episodes, stuff like that. It's gonna be a fun time.
Try to get some interviews in there if we can.
Yeah.
Back in action.
Absolutely. I'm in. Well, cool. Guys, thank you so much for being here. It's nice of Chris to come in from Japan. It's still wild to me. I might have been selfish, but if you have anything nice to say to us, please leave us 5-star rating and review. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Email us, knowthepod@gmail.com if you have any questions, concerns, ideas for the pod. Follow Chris on Twitter at Chris at what the hell? What is your name? At Chris Wright 21?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and at Dan Kooser is where I am. So, hey, we love you to death. We will talk to you guys in a couple weeks. See ya.